All right, guys. Welcome to ShopCast. I'm Ryan,
Chase?
and this is episode number 2, man. So, yeah. So, fucking. All right. So I was at work, right, and I was talking to one of the guys I work with, and he was showing me this thing on Facebook about that Virginia Beach shooting, right, where this lady, like, all right, so I want to start off with the fact that I'm not the authority figure on like when you cannot make jokes about something.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm not. But 2 days after the shooting, this chick puts on Facebook commenting it, saying, "Oh, does that mean that Virginia Beach's hiring now?" Which is distasteful as fuck. Like I said, man, I'm really not fucking the authority figure on it.
Yeah.
But
I can see the humor in it. But
I get it.
It's terrible.
I mean those families have literally just found out 2 days ago that their family members got killed. And you're gonna make a joke. And so with that, right, distasteful, completely unwarranted. Got it. But what people did to her afterwards, like they were fucking like doxing her, which means doxing. So it's like if someone puts something on the internet that you don't like or whatever, they'll go and they'll like back search you, like find out where your house is, your phone number, like where you work, put all your fucking like personal shit out there. Like there was like on that thread, on that comment feed, there was like a dude like rolled up to her house and took a picture of her house and said, "Hey, this is where she lived. Here's her address." And this lady's like, "Why the fuck are you outside my house?"
That's like some.
That's what I'm saying,
that's too
dude.
far, man. That's
right. So, like I said,
that's some like shit starter stuff. Like you want some more news stories.
It's like she fucked up, right?
Yeah.
And she even said she came out and said eventually like it was distasteful or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, she never said I'm sorry. I don't think I've ever heard or seen where she said that she apologizes, but she did realize it was distasteful. But to do that, like you're gonna stalk her now? Like that's illegal as fuck.
You're gonna stalk her and send out her information for other people to stalk her and potentially do something even worse.
Do harm? Like she has a family, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And
it's distasteful. I can recognize that. And like you said, she didn't say I'm sorry, but I have a different opinion on that. Like if you're trying to make a joke, you're trying to get people to laugh. Mm-hmm. You're trying to make people feel a little bit more humor in a dark time. I don't think you should apologize for that. Well, I feel like you should apologize in the way you tried to do that, but not for that.
I don't want her to say I'm sorry for making a joke. I want her to say, not even me personally, because again, it's terrible what happened, right? Mm-hmm. It's a mass shooting. It's terrible. I understand that. But again, none of the people I don't know any of them.
Yeah.
Nothing happened to my family.
It doesn't affect you.
It happened to my community. Mm-hmm. But it's not like I personally felt the implications of what happened that day.
It doesn't affect you directly.
Yes. And with that being said, like the joke is a joke. I understand. But those 12 people's families probably did not see it as that. They saw it as some fucking like slight against them.
Personal attack.
Some personal vendetta that some fucking lady on the internet decided to do.
She's probably not even jobless. She probably has a job. She just thought of a way.
I mean, yeah, it's not. It was a joke. It was a joke. I get it. It's just like September 12th, 2001. We're not talking about 9/11.
That's not
Sandy
a good
Hook.
time.
We're not talking about that. You know, fucking the piece of shit who shut up that black church. You know, we're not making jokes right afterwards. We're not. No. And you got to be sensitive to the fact that like it's too new, right?
Yeah.
It's just too new, and like I don't know when's the right time to make a joke about it. I don't know if there even is ever a good time.
it doesn't matter when you're gonna make the joke. Somebody's gonna be offended. However, more people are gonna be offended the closer to the date you do it.
Yeah. Like if she would have said something like that 2-3 months ago, or months in advance, or afterwards,
after the fact,
yeah, she probably wouldn't have been in such hot shit as she is now. Like I bet she wouldn't. I bet people would still be like, hey, why the fuck would you say that? But there people wouldn't be outside her house taking pictures and shit.
No. There's also the respect of like timing a joke.
Yeah,
like
timing.
That joke would not have worked
3 months later. It wouldn't. But again, is it a joke that needs to be said?
It's not a no. That's
is it
like
a joke that
that's
needs
like
to be
a
said?
joke you would say with your personal friends, like
Yeah.
people you know who are not gonna offend it, which is still
it's still wrong because you still have
because you're still desensitizing that event.
I mean, like, think about, like, how many Holocaust jokes are there? Tons.
Yeah.
You know, and that's probably one of the worst events in human history.
Yeah.
But people make them, and
people laugh.
It's been a long fucking time since the Holocaust. You know, not in the idea of since humans were around, but it's been a long time.
Oh,
like, it has been. It's been over 60 years. Like, it's not something I would make. I wouldn't make a joke like that. No fucking way. But it's...
Yeah. I'm up for any joke.
I'm up to hear it.
Yeah.
But again, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't make it that joke. I don't know, man. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person who, like, I will think of a joke, and if it's bad, I'll just if it's bad, like, in a sense, like, oh, people, this is gonna offend a lot of people, but I think it's really funny, I'm gonna have to say it, but I'll say it, like, so quiet that I think I'm the only one that hears it.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing with comedians, though, too, is like that's their job, push the line. Like, that's where you're supposed to have it. So, like, think about that White House correspondent thing with Michelle Wolf.
I didn't hear about that.
Oh, dude, that's fucking hilarious, bro.
I'm so behind on, like, current events.
That is fucking hilarious. But a lot of people hated it. A lot of Republicans hated it. And they thought it was distasteful. How could you go out and just attack like the president and attack like his advisors and shit like that? And it's like because they can. They're public figures. Story? It wasn't a story. It was okay. So you know what the White House Correspondents' Dinner is, right? No. It's basically a dinner that they hold every year. The president does, and they hold every year, and they get a bunch of people together, and it's supposed to be a dinner, and it's supposed to be comedians and have a good time, right? It's just supposed to be like kind of this, hey, this is what it is, right? So they hired Michelle Wolf, which I personally, besides her voice, which I can't stand, is fucking hilarious. I think she's hilarious. Yeah. One of the funniest people I've seen. But so they invited her to go do the comedy, and they must not have researched her, like, at all, because her whole shtick is political jokes against Trump and that administration. Her whole thing is that. Like, it's not even, like,
so it's kind of hiding it. It was kind of like one of those things, like, oh, people really like her. We should have her. Yeah. And they didn't look into anything.
Yeah.
They were just, like, looking at the statistics.
Yeah. So, and she's not even that big, because clearly you haven't heard of her.
Yeah.
But... I mean, I like her a lot. I think she's funny as hell. But, so she went out there and she just started ass blasting everybody in that administration, just nonstop for like 40 minutes, just roasting everybody, dude, like bad. And, and of course, you know, like the news media comes out and they're just like, oh my God, this lady just came up here and just was talking all this stuff and that was unnecessary and being fucking snowflakes on the right, man. That's what they were, and they couldn't take a joke. But and it was funny. It was good. It's good. It's like one liner after one liner, just shitting all over them.
Is she typically like a right wing comedian, or is she more on the left?
No.
She's more liberal.
She's on the Daily Show. Like she was on the Daily Show.
Oh, okay. So she's definitely like a Democrat.
She's definitely a liberal. Yeah. Oh. So.
And these Republicans?
I don't know. I don't know how she got the gig.
Is it like?
No,
is it not only Republicans at that dinner?
It's not only Republicans at dinner.
Oh, okay.
It's the whole community. It's the point of the dinner is to get everybody together to like have a good time and say, hey, let's put our differences aside,
so
work
like
for the actual country,
like
besides
family
being
reunion
partisan ass
sort of
shit. Kind of. But yeah, she was on the Daily Show, and then she did that correspondent dinner and got fired from the Daily Show, I believe.
Oh.
Or quit. One of the two, but like immediately afterwards.
Isn't that what the Daily Show's about? Is ripping into Republicans?
I don't know, dude. But then you gotta think the Daily Show's on Comedy Central, which is owned by Viacom, which is owned by one company. Well, Viacom, which is the company, which probably the head of Viacom might be a fucking Republican. Like,
he's trying to dip into the profits.
Just trying to say, hey, that was pretty shitty what you said about whatever, and yeah, we don't want her on there, and they have full control over it. So we just be like, boot her out.
Yeah, but with the publicity of that, you said it was a correspondent or
it's a correspondence dinner. Something like that. I forget what.
With
I said,
publicity of that, she probably got tons of other job offers.
Oh well, she made a Netflix special, or not a special. She made a Netflix show called what the fuck is it called? I forget what it's called, but it's something. It was on it, but it got canceled now. It's not on anymore.
Oh, okay.
But it seems a lot of people do that. Like Roy Jones Jr. I think has a show now that he does.
I don't know.
Hassan Minaj. How do you say it?
Minaj's brother?
Hassan Minaj has his own, which is awesome. Patriot with Hassan Minaj.
I don't know what that is either.
It's if you ever go on Netflix, you can like see it. It's kind of like The Daily Show, but not so much.
Okay. I'm like,
it's a news thing.
I'm like dipping my toe into like politics, but I'm not.
Oh, I'm full fledged in, dude. I dove in long time. Actually, I dove in 2016. That's when I dove in. But
as soon as the Trump-Hillary election.
Yep. I don't know.
Is that why?
Yes, that is why.
Okay.
But that's
you a Hillary supporter or?
Yeah. Yeah.
More so than Trump.
Yeah. We'll go with that. But I don't want to. I don't want to go.
You don't want to jump.
I don't want to go into that.
Yeah,
that's not what this show's about, per se. So.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, she got fucking horrible fucking things happen to Michelle Wolf. Is what I'm trying to say. Is that, and she came out and, still succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
So, I applaud her for that, and I still think she's funny. So yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to fail whenever you're taking stances like that, because there's always this side over here that's gonna agree with you, while this side doesn't.
Yeah, about 50-50 shot.
Yeah, you're gonna have the support of pretty much.
You got a 50-50 shot on
half the people
on winning and losing if you go and take political stances.
Yeah,
like it's not.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what it is. It's 50-50 shot. Like I don't know. I don't tell you.
I'll say like. Yeah, because there are like independent people who may side with one another.
Yeah.
But they're not as big.
But they don't own anything.
Yeah.
Look at Silicon Valley, man. Look at all the fucking people that own all these businesses. Mm-hmm. If it's not an old business like oil or electricity or water treatment, or if it's something like new, right? Like a new tech business or new fucking energy business or new something like that.
Like Apple is relatively new.
Yes. 2009, I think, is when they came out with their first iPhone.
Yeah. And they weren't a thing until the 1980s.
I mean, they've had Macs and stuff and everything like that. But again, Tim Cook and Steve Jobs, I believe, are both Democrats. I mean, a lot of people are, and they. So it's hard. It's hard to. I mean, look at like YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. Mm-hmm. Like, they probably say they're not anything. They probably a neutral stance or whatever. But if you had like gun to their head, like, they'd probably side with the left more than anything.
Yeah. Just
because, like, that's what most of their people are.
The guy that we were trying to think of earlier, I can't remember his name for anything.
What guy?
The guy that was on JRE. Republican, Jewish guy.
Yup, I know who you're talking about, and I still don't remember.
I still can't remember his name.
Hold on, give me a second.
But he's a huge, like, Republican debater.
Yeah, it's not Milo. It's
no, but like, I'm pretty sure he said Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, is Democratic, and like he respects the crap out of him, but he doesn't, like, his views don't align.
Yeah, I mean, no one says you have to fucking be exactly like, if we don't agree with stuff, which I know we don't.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some
we don't have to. I don't have to be like, you're my mortal enemy, and now we can never talk ever again. Like, it's it's probably better actually the fact that you talk to these people and hear their side of the story.
Yeah, different opinions.
Yeah. What the fuck, dude? How far back was that?
It was like one of the 1200s. It was like done in March or April. Can't
Shit, dude. Way far back.
But
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
like I can't remember his name, but he's like
Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro.
It's like, well, I couldn't fucking remember his name either, but
yeah. I'm thinking about buying his book because he says he has a book out.
Yeah, they all
I'm
say they have books out. I don't fucking know what those.
But his is like the top New York bestseller or some shit right now. I was thinking about reading it.
Yeah, but I guess what? I bet 50 Shades of Grey was a New York bestseller too at one point. It's still garbage.
Hey,
like,
my
I'm just
mom
saying.
Love that series.
Hey, that's all fine and dandy. It was probably meant for her, but
yeah,
it ain't meant for me.
Middle-aged women.
Ain't meant for me.
Yeah, that's the target audience.
It's I don't know, man.
But yeah, I was thinking about reading the book just to like get my toe into conservative side of politics, because I hear there's always a video about somebody's side of politics, and most of my searches on like Facebook or YouTube or anything, they always pop up like liberal side of arguments for the majority of the wide-span topics. I do get some conservative, like gun rights, abortion, but I don't want to just know about those. I want to expand, like, know.
Well, everybody should expand
what the
on
different
that shit.
What the different stances on every other topic is.
So, right, I watch a lot of Bill Maher, right, and Bill Maher has been a big advocate of why don't liberals go on to Fox News, like, at all, ever. You know, they really don't, because they think like, oh, Fox News is going to give me a fair or an unfair, interview. They're gonna
edit and
not even edit, more just like, oh, we're gonna get you these gotcha questions. We're gonna make it seem like you're a fucking moron, or that we.
I mean, who cares if you seem like
right? So a lot of people don't want to do, like, Elizabeth Warren refuses to go onto Fox News and shit, and a lot of what the fuck was that? Anyway, a lot of people do, and that's the problem though, because like you're missing half the country. That's where half the country just watches solely Fox News.
Oh,
that's it. You're missing half of them. And some of that half is probably on the fence about whatever they are thinking. So if you can get a Democrat to go on to Fox News and give them their 2 cents on some shit, you can probably sway some of those people. But you're not. You're refusing, and you're not even. You're living in a bubble that you think that, oh, we've got enough. We got enough to do whatever. You don't. If you wanna do something, you're gonna have to reach out to everybody. People who don't like you, people who like you, everybody. Like, you just have to. Otherwise, you're never gonna win. And it's unfair to those people that don't know anything about you, and you're just gonna be like, oh, all I hear from whatever news source is that you're the fucking devil and you can't fucking.
But it's also pretty scary to see, like, with that news source that claims you're the devil or whatever, or that your opinions are outrageous.
Yeah.
For them to ask you to come on, that does seem a little suspicious.
I would definitely go on.
They're definitely.
But you gotta take up the challenge, dude. If you're gonna try and be a fucking president or any powerful position, you can't just say, "Oh, well, I'm only going to talk to the people that agree with me," because that would you'd never. That's bad. That's bad for everybody.
You gotta explain
including
your
the
side
people.
to everybody else.
That's what I'm saying. So
And
you need to be able to talk to everybody.
Yeah, and there's not just like Republicans who watch Fox News or Democrats that watch CNN. There's other independent groups out there that may not agree with their independent
Candidate.
representative.
There's a good one.
Representative. But like libertarians, not all of them agree on the same libertarian views.
Yeah.
So they're watching CNN.
So we really
Fox
are diving
News.
into this, huh? We're diving real into this. I just think
that wasn't my intention, but
yeah,
you know, whenever we get to talking, we always dive in until there's nothing to get to. Like until we reach the bottom, or playing with the fucking mud at the bottom of the lake.
Yeah. It's
That was not my intention.
Well, I just remember saying like, I don't really want to get into this, and then you just kept going for like the next like 10 minutes, just like, oh, okay, I guess we really are going, but that's all right, man. Yeah, I just thought, God, the original conversation was talking about that chick who said a bad joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of bullshit that happens around this fucking place, man.
And there's a lot of distasteful jokes out there. You just gotta learn how to like get past it. Like, yeah, they're an asshole. You don't have to fucking talk to them. You don't have to talk to them face to face.
And honestly, if you really want to talk about it, I mean, fucking First Amendment rights. I mean, it gives us the privilege to do this.
Freedom of speech. Yeah.
You know? And a lot of people take that in the wrong way, but you do have the right to say whatever you want, as long as it's in a fucking public place. Like a lot of people talk about like, oh, I feel it's fucked up that a lot of people getting banned from YouTube and all this shit. Well, YouTube is a private company.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want. You're using their server. Now, no one's telling you can't get your own website.
It's like,
you can't do your own fucking thing. No one's telling you that. They're saying on our website, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And right or wrong, I mean, it's their right to be able to say that. They own that company. So they can say, I don't want
if you're out in public, like standing on your front lawn, yell whatever you want. Nobody can stop you.
Nobody can stop you, but there are consequences to your actions.
They can make noise complaints, or...
I mean, there's just consequences to your actions.
Yeah.
You know, like... There really is. Like, if you started saying some fucking racial slurs, and then all of a sudden that race that you're slurring about comes up and beats your fucking ass, that's the consequence. No one's stopping you from saying whatever you can
file charges for assault, but...
I mean you were out there doing some shit you weren't supposed to do. I mean, don't be surprised at the consequences you get.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, suing them for assault for their, like, $2 or whatever they have is not gonna fix your arm, or
it's not even that. It's just
unbreak your leg.
Who's to say you don't get fucking? You win that lawsuit, and then all of a sudden that guy who just got sued tells his boys to just wait till you're in an alley alone.
Yeah, roll up on you,
masks on, and everything. I mean, like you're gonna get fucked up, bro.
Do you remember that guy? I can't remember his name, but that guy.
I've seen a little bit of videos of him, but I don't know who it is.
Somebody told me that he got shot.
I'm sure he fucking
N-word
did.
Too much.
I'm sure he fucking did.
Yeah, and like some people didn't like that he was saying the N-word, and he was white, so they rolled up on him.
Yeah, well, you probably shouldn't. Yeah. I'm just saying, you probably shouldn't. It's a bad idea.
Yeah,
you know, and
which it might be okay for some people. Some people are like,
I don't
really care. But for the majority, I think they're like, oh, that's fucked up.
I don't think you should say it at all, but
no,
and that's just one of those things that you're gonna have to live with. Like, you just can't.
It's not.
You can't say it.
It's
distasteful.
It's one of those things. It's distasteful. It's rude.
Because like it's fucking one of those things. Like historically, we've made it bad.
Oh yeah.
Like that's what we've done as the white race, I guess. We made it bad. So
we're the ones that took it and made it into a derogatory term.
Yeah, well, I mean, we made it up. I mean, I'm sure it's not like a word that was in, people were saying long before the slave owners. I'm 100% about that.
Yeah.
So they probably made it up, but that's beside the point. Like, you still should be considerate of other people's feelings. Now, I'm not saying to a point where you can't say anything, but there's certain things like that guy, right, when I was at work, who interrupted my fucking story to ask me if it was really necessary for me to be swearing, saying the F word. Yes. Guess the fuck what? It is. That it's my vernacular. It's my fucking
public area. It's vocabulary. It's.
I'm not saying anything like outrageous that I can't say.
No.
I'm saying shit that I wanna, and you know what? Half the time, it's half the time I don't even realize I'm saying it. Like, unless I seriously think about it.
Yeah.
But it's just my mannerisms. I mean, it's how I talk.
Yeah.
And right or wrong, whatever, it just is what it is. And I'm not gonna fucking apologize for it. I'm not gonna change the way it is.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. And it could be because of the job I'm in. It could be because being in the Navy. It's
being a sailor. You got a sailor mouth.
It just happens.
That's the thing.
And honestly, those people are prior sailors or prior Marines.
Yeah, so
prior
it's
Air
not
Force.
Like they're not
They've never heard. It's not like they've never heard it before. They need to calm the fuck down. Is what I'm trying to get at. And like, to tell somebody you can't say that is, I would never say that. Now there's certain things like, I'm not watching. Some kids start watching Blue's Clues and the fucking guy starts cussing up a storm. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
There's certain avenues to say it, but like, when I'm in public around
a
full grown ass adults,
you're not at the playground.
I can fucking say what I fucking want, like, within reason, obviously. Yeah, it took me aback, dude. I was like, what the fuck, dude? What is this guy's problem?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I didn't know who he was, so I bitched out, and I was just like, all right, the responsible thing to do is to just, I won't say it anymore and just carry on. But it just irked me, man.
Which is
fucking irked me.
Is probably the smartest thing you can do.
It was the smartest thing.
Like, holding back my testosterone for you. That is like putting my testosterone away and like not supporting you. Like, oh yeah, you should have fucked him up, bro.
I should have just
yeah.
It's the adult thing to do, which is what everybody should try and do. Like I said, man, like, if it hurts somebody's feelings or something like that, you should be, as a human to human, you should be like, hey, all right, I'll respect that. But again, though, on the flip side, playing devil's advocate, well, you can just get up and leave. Yeah. No one's keeping you there, Like, you just get up and walk away. Like, it's not a big deal. But
what setting were you in?
I was on a smoke pit.
A smoke pit.
It's on a smoke pit.
Was
on a Navy base. No, he wasn't even smoking.
He wasn't smoking.
He was eating an orange, looking at his phone. Like, I don't know why he was there. I haven't seen him here since. Yeah. But
like, you can eat that orange at your desk, guy.
Right?
Which I get it. Some people don't.
Some people want to get fresh air. I get it. Like, get out. You've been in office all day long.
Yeah, a smoke pit is probably not the best place to get fresh air.
You could have gone to your fucking car. You could have gone to a different place.
Yeah.
You could have just ignored me. Like, that's what a lot of people don't get, is like,
or
ignore those people.
Start up your own conversation. Make some friends with some other people who don't cuss. And
it's not like I was talking to him.
Conversations. Yeah.
It's not like I was even talking to him. That's the problem. Like, if I was talking to him and I was cussing at him, all right, I got you. But I wasn't even talking to him. And he just eavesdropped in on that shit and wanted to put his 2 cents in. Like, he was fucking, some hot shit. Fuck that guy, dude. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
I can tell this has been bothering you since it happened.
It's been bothering me for a bit. But I'm trying to get over it. Over it.
I've had that problem before. So, like, one little thing, something happens.
Like, I'm not losing sleep over it.
Fuck that
guy.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. Sometimes that's how I feel.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. But it just brings up the bigger topic of like, why are we censoring people? Like, a lot of people want to say some horrible shit about certain races, certain genders, certain whatever. Like, okay. Like, if that's what you want to do, then don't subscribe to it. Don't fucking... Don't be a part of it. Don't fucking engage in it, because that's all they want.
Yeah,
they want you to engage in it.
You can deplatform somebody without
actually deplatforming.
Without actually deplatforming.
You can, if they've got 0 subscribers,
don't watch
what the fuck?
videos.
Yeah. Who are they talking to? Themselves?
If there are no likes, then it's not climbing the video.
Mm-hmm. And there's no frowny faces or fucking comments.
But
comments, man, I'll tell you right now, dude. These people fucking comment on shit, and that's all these dudes are waiting for. They're waiting for someone to comment and be like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do at 2 o'clock in the morning. Respond back. And they're just gonna get you angry, and then you're gonna respond back. And
that's kind of like
it's trolling. You're trolling these people.
Yeah, there are people who respond to spam mail to
fucking why,
to fuck
dude?
with them.
I don't know why.
Like, and sometimes I get it. It's funny, like especially if it's not a robot.
It's a real person.
If it's a real person trying to scam you, I say go for it. If you have the time, fuck with that person hardcore.
Yeah. But I mean, it's, again, though, that's not, they're trying to scam you for something. This is what I was talking about was, these are people having these horrible, bigoted views, right? Let them be a bigot. Let them go fucking off and be on their own fucking team, on their own circle, and let them talk about whatever the fuck they want to talk about. You don't have to fucking subscribe to that. You don't have to be there with that. All right? Yeah. You know what's right, and you can go off and say, I'm going to be better about it. I'm going to fucking...
ignore them.
I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to be the bigger person, and I'm going to...
The problem is, whenever... in order to do that, you'd have to like come together as a society and ignore that.
Well...
Because I know...
We're divided as fuck right now, so I mean, it's hard.
If one person decides, alright, I'm not going to watch that, that doesn't change a thing. There are millions of others that
who will watch that.
That will watch that, and they will comment. They'll give them those views. Mm-hmm. And
I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's just how society is nowadays. And like, I am not saying it's a bad thing by any means. Mm-mm. I'm just saying
sometimes it's a really good thing.
Yeah, like, sometimes a lot of good movements, a lot of good
like
things have come out of it.
Clean up the earth. Robert Downey Jr. He's doing that. Like
Lil Dicky made a song about it. It's pretty good.
Cleaning up the earth?
Oh, it's just called Earth, but yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. It's pretty good. It's got a lot of people in it.
But yeah, those celebrities are using their fan base to bring them together and like clean up the earth.
Yep. Well, trying at least. It's hard though, because
there's a lot of people who don't give a fuck.
A lot of people just don't want to switch their own ways.
I'm guilty of that. Like
I'm guilty of it too.
I don't like recycling just because it's on a different day than.
It's on a different day for you?
It's not really.
It's every other week.
It's
right?
not on a. Yeah, it's every other week. Yeah. I have to keep track of which week it is.
Yeah.
And most of the time, I just look at my neighbors. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Do they have the blue one out?
They have the blue one out. They don't have the blue one out, so I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah. You just put the blue one out anyways. Yeah, just in case. Like, I don't remember it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. Like, I try to be conscious about a lot of shit nowadays. I don't know where I got on this kick, dude, but I'm trying really hard to be, like, a good human, is what I'm trying to get at. Like, I'm trying to be better to the environment. I'm trying to be better to my fellow people. I'm trying to just be better. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to change ways. I understand that. Oh. And I get that it's hard for some people to switch over like overnight. I get it. I know it's not easy, but it's something that you have to bite the bullet and you have to do. Like,
especially if you're trying to be a better human, like be better to people, for example. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people, even if you're good to them, they'll treat you like trash.
Yeah, and
it's so taking the road untraveled.
Just taking the high road, man.
There's a reason why it's not traveled so much, because it's bumpy and it's rocky.
It's hard
and it's difficult. The high road, it's up fucking hill.
Yeah, it's hard.
So you
just have to, like I'm saying, I wish more people, like, tried harder to do it. But again, as humans, we like the easy thing. We like the easy thing.
Like to walk downhill on a smooth
Yeah, like
surface.
if I knew it would do nothing to hurt anybody, of course I'd take the easy fucking way. Like, why wouldn't you? It's just what we want to do. I don't want to have to struggle all the time, but when it comes down to it, like, the struggle is good for you. Like, the struggle is good for the country, the earth, the population. Like, it's good.
It's like working out.
Mm-hmm.
It's uncomfortable when you're doing it,
Mm-hmm.
but you're gonna get magnificent results.
Yeah, and it's healthy for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you live longer. You're gonna
get all the babes.
I don't have to worry about that. I'm married, but what I'm saying.
I mean,
like,
but you're gonna get the attention. Or like, that guy looks good.
Yeah,
and you're gonna feel better.
You're gonna feel better
because of that.
Yes, you're gonna feel better. You're gonna live longer most of the time. Like, you're gonna. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule, but you.
There's one lady that my wife always likes to tell me whenever I'm like, oh, hey, we should eat this because it's healthier, or whatever. Just a lady that lived to, I think it was over 100 years old. She might still be alive. I don't know. This was a couple years ago.
Oh, that's easy nowadays.
Yeah.
Living to 100 is not hard.
Somebody interviewed her, and she's like, how'd you do it? And she's like, I drank a Dr. Pepper every day.
See, but that's like exceptions. Like, nobody fucking is fucking going and saying, oh, everybody's got to drink Dr. Pepper now. The FDA's not saying, like, oh, Dr. Pepper's the miracle fucking cure. Everybody's going to fucking live longer.
Fuck vitamins.
Yeah,
you
just drink Dr. Pepper. Right? And sometimes it's genetics. But, I mean, there's a fucking dude, I think he just died, and he was like 140 or something like that. Like, he's... 140? Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, there's... I saw an article. I don't actually know if it's real or not.
Okay.
But it seemed real.
Like, I thought like the record was like 115. But I'm not
But
sure.
again, though, people are doing that all the time. You know how many times there's people out there that are like, oh, it's my great grandma's 120th birthday, or my great grandma's 111th birthday. It's like, that happens a lot nowadays. Like, us as humans, with modern advances in technology and medicine, we're living longer. It just is what it is, which is good to a point, but it also, I could see the bad side of it. Yeah. We're already having a population control problem, like and the way that we live is horrendous to this earth. So, it's one of those things where
why most people are excited to get to Mars. Not only it's going to solve...
Mars isn't going to be there for...
It's not going to be there for a hot minute, but everybody's like, all right, let's get there.
Yeah, and it's just going to be the rich people anyways that go up there first.
I'm fine with that. Because where are those rich people going to need to get their resources?
That's true. We're going to be all the dummies down here fucking farming
away.
Building products and shit. Being in your militaries. Like, they're going to be all doing that down here.
Hopefully, though, there are some other natural resources on Mars. Because I know...
There might be new resources.
Gas we get from like fossil fuels.
But again, why are we using gas? We have the technology not to use that shit.
That's a different conversation. The point is, we're using gas right now, and in order to get to Mars, we're going to need to use more gas, rocket fuel, and while they're on Mars, I'm assuming they're not going to stop using gas, which means it's still coming from Earth. There are no dinosaurs on Mars that we know of.
I mean, how do we know? What if... I don't know. We don't really know much about Mars at all.
Yeah.
Like, who knows what's up there? Maybe there's some fucking mineral or thing up there that
can mimic...
That's way better than, everything we've got down here. I don't fucking know.
Or maybe they're not going until they master electric cars or...
Yeah, I mean, again, I do not know. I think it's a cool prospect. Like, I definitely think it's a cool
awesome
prospect.
To think about.
And I would be all aboard to fucking go to the moon, like, because they're building that moon base.
Yeah. Up
there. I think NASA just got a whole grant for it.
Yeah.
But they're going up there to basically build a launch pad to get to Mars, right? Mm-hmm. Which is cool as fuck. Like, I think that's awesome, and I think it's cool that it's gonna, one, create new jobs. Two, schooling's gonna be all crazy as fuck. You're gonna have to start learning how to be an engineer in zero gravity, and you're gonna have to learn how to be a plumber
and they're gonna
fucking zero gravity.
They're probably gonna. I feel like they're gonna start learning, like, trying to push that on kids early.
What's the new architecture that you got to build? You know, because we're not gonna be able to build like we do here. There's probably gonna be a lot of domes. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to be electricians that maintain.
Zoning laws are gonna be crazy up there.
Well, I don't. That's a different thing too.
Yeah.
Because how are we gonna land grab? You know.
Yeah.
Who says
who gets what?
Who says who owns what? Because you know it's gonna be it's gonna be us, Russia, and China. For sure.
Absolutely.
Up there.
That's going to be the...
For sure
the
up
race.
there. But now who's going to fucking own what part of the moon? Mm-hmm. You know, are we going to own any of the moon? Or is this going to be like free fucking space?
Yeah. And they have that whole space treaty where like if you're up there, there's no fighting. Mm-hmm. Or like if somebody's trapped up there, another country, if they have the resources to do it, they have to do all.
Yeah, but just
necessary.
Because you're in a treaty,
that doesn't
mean you're not legally bound by anything.
Oh yeah,
a lot of
you know that Russia's gonna try and do some sneaky shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that even the U.S. does that we don't live up to that. We say we do it, but we don't. Mm-hmm. I mean,
what was that thing? They were doing something down in like South America.
Like Guantanamo?
No. This was like back in Kennedy's time, where they were gonna try and inject these people with syphilis in order to get a cure.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And the only reason they didn't do it is because
did do it. They did do it. Yeah, they started like injecting like homeless people with like syphilis or gonorrhea or some shit like that, just so they can like test out new medicine to see how to fix it. Like, well, that again, not being a good human. It's not. You're hurting your other humans for.
See, I thought that was something that John F. Kennedy put a veto on.
No, I'm pretty sure they did.
And
I'd have to look into it, but
that's something.
I'm pretty sure they fucking did it. Like, and that's crazy as fuck, man.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy as fuck.
It's crazy to think that. How many people do we have in Senate and House of Representatives?
A lot.
A lot of people.
A lot.
And all of them were like.
Well, there's 2 senators per state, so.
That's 100 people.
That's over 100 people. 104. 102. My bad.
2 people per state.
Yeah, two senators per state.
Including Puerto Rico? Or...
Puerto Rico doesn't count.
Yeah, I know.
They're a territory.
And 2 people per state, and there's only 50 states.
Yeah, whatever, dude. You know,
it's 100.
Whatever, dude. I've been drinking. It's fine. Like, whatever.
Yeah. And then
it's better than math than that one chick.
Plus the House of Representatives, which depends on the state size, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that and I think it was like 300 something.
Yeah.
340 or something like that. Some outrageous
The
number.
Majority of those people would have had to have agreed to that.
Yup.
And that's crazy to think that there are that many fucked up individuals.
Yup. I mean, do you think if they put it to a vote in America, it would have fucking been any different?
Yeah.
I'd probably say a majority of them. If they said, hey, we're doing this to, cure cancer, cure AIDS, and we're going to go down to some other country that you've never probably been to, we're going to inject all the homeless people with it so we can do experiments on them. Like, do you think that the majority, especially back then, what was that, the 60s?
Yeah.
They would have they'd definitely said yes. Like, they'd have been like, yeah, fuck yeah. Cure us? Save us? Hell yeah.
No.
Fuck those people.
I don't think so.
I honestly do. I think we've come a long way.
Was it that was during Vietnam era? Or right after?
Don't long that, dude. I'm bad.
And there were so many fucking people protesting Vietnam War.
Right, because... Yes. Right, so... And that's the thing... A lot of the people are very... Like... The small majority of the very crazy people are usually the loudest.
Yeah.
Like, and so it might look like, oh, everybody agrees with this, but it only could be 100 people that are just nuts, right? And I'm not saying Vietnam War was good. I'm just saying, like...
But, like, there were people all over the place, like hippie. That was the hippie movement, who were just protesting that because... They didn't want those atrocities to happen.
Yeah.
Which
But it's
the
just
syphilis
killing.
thing is a fucking.
They were just killing people though, like in war. Like I don't know why. Like so, it's a difference, right? So let's say you have a son, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if the government came up to you and was like, "Hey, we can make sure your son never gets cancer, never gets AIDS, never gets any disease ever again," but to do that, we have to, take some homeless people, scum. This is their words, scum of the earth. People that don't do anything to society, and we're just gonna test them. We're gonna test on them. Some of them might live, some of them we might cure, but we're gonna test it.
So
we're gonna. And what does it matter to you? Less homeless people in your fucking community? Hey man, that sounds pretty fucking good.
yeah,
And they could have marketed it as something
I
better. I don't know what they did.
So I would like to think in that situation, if my kid did not have cancer or he didn't have syphilis or whatever, I would say no. I would like to think that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not happened to me.
Yeah.
And honestly, I have a very unsympathetic, logical side of me that would probably be like, oh, fuck those guys. Who cares? It's not you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
And-
what a lot of people I feel in
and
this country would have said. I'm not saying that it happened that way.
A lot of people would have, but I think an equal or even more people would protest, especially nowadays. I don't know about
again.
again, this was back then, but
Yeah.
I don't know about back then.
Nowadays, we are much more self-conscious, much more globally conscious, right? Like I just said earlier, like I don't know what happened. I mean, I kind of know what happened, but something just clicked where I'm just like, I don't want to be like I used to be. Like, I used to drive an F-150, getting like 15 miles to the gallon.
Yeah,
filling
burning
up-
gas.
burning gas, and now I don't. Now I drive a
Yeah.
Tesla.
Now you're one of
and-
those guys.
And you can say whatever you want about it. I know you're just joking, but like,
Yeah.
there's people out there that are like, oh, one of those fucking like guys.
There,
I'm trying to make. I bit the bullet to try to make a better
Oh,
fucking
that's a huge
tomorrow.
That's a huge financial bullet.
It
I
is.
mean,
It is. I would love to get solar panels on my fucking house right now. I would love it, but I don't have the money for it. I think it's like 50 grand just to
think
get like
that's-
basic
so-
bitch solar panels on there.
that's the focus I feel like they should be working on to
Mhm.
make like solar power cheaper or even electric cars cheaper.
Yeah.
That way the more average person can afford that instead of trying to make electric cars faster. Like ludicrous mode. Who the fuck needs that?
I mean, it's cool.
I
But
mean,
yeah, who
yeah,
does need
it's-
that? It's cool, but who needs
super
that?
cool. Yeah.
And again, though, I agree with you. It's the problem is that things like these oil companies, man, they don't want to lose their fucking top spot.
Oh yeah.
They don't want to do that. And they've been paying senators and fucking House of Representatives. They've been paying these motherfuckers for years. They're not going to let some fucking billionaire come in and say, hey, we need to stop using this. Let's all buy my electric cars. They're not going to stop that. They're going to fucking go in there and they're going to say, hey, no, clean coal is a thing.
That's
or
not a
fucking,
thing.
natural gas is better than whatever. Like, bro, how about we just stop using the resources that are from this planet and use the fucking sun? Everybody's got the sun.
Yeah.
Like,
use it while it's there until we can't.
and well, when
But
it's
then-
not there,
then
we're
dead.
yeah, we're dead. So it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
But-
that's a resource that's never going away, and if it does go away, it's gonna take us with it.
Right. So that's what I'm getting at is that these people don't want that to happen because then they're going to stop making as much money as
But
they do.
it doesn't make sense to me because they can easily just buy into the electric company.
But
or like
then they'd
the
have-
electric.
Okay, so think about it like how I think about it at least is like these coal miners, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's not many of them. There's like 19,000 in the entire country.
Oh yeah.
It's not a big community, really isn't. But my grandpa's worked for it, my dad worked for it, my great grandpa worked for it, my great great grandpa. We've always been a coal mining fucking family.
All right.
And so when they look into it, they're like, "Oh, well, that's my job. That's how I survive." And you're trying to take that away from me, like how dare you? Like you're trying to take it, and then we got some idealistic people out there that are saying, "Well, we can just retrain them to do these outrageous jobs." Well, not really. Like you can't really train a 65-year-old coal miner on how to now program a fucking website. You can't do it.
No.
But what you can
That would
do,
be difficult.
is say, hey, we're taking you out of these fucking mines that are giving you black lung and fucking destroying you, giving you all these whole health problems, and we can make it so that you clean solar panels. I don't know. That's not hard. Anybody can do that. They'll pay you the same amount. We'll retrain you for free, and that's all you got to do.
There's a certain amount of pride in coal mining versus
Why is there
solar
pride
panels.
in coal mining? Why the fuck are you proud to go into a dark tunnel and pull out a dangerous fucking fuel that will kill you? It will kill you.
It's hard work, and it leaves calluses on your hands. You're viewed as like, oh, this guy's a coal miner. He's a fucking tough guy. He goes into dark shafts, comes out with fucking buckets of coal on each shoulder. It's the view. Whereas if you're just cleaning solar panels, oh, that guy's a janitor. You could do that with an eighth grade education.
Yeah, but so what, dude? So the fuck what? Like if you paid,
it's a pride thing.
If you paid me $30 an hour to go down and do one of the most dangerous jobs in the entire world, and you also paid me $30 an hour to wipe off solar panels. Well, guess what I'm gonna fucking do?
That's the thing.
I'm gonna do the solar panel thing. I'm not gonna endanger myself all the time to do it.
They're not gonna pay you $30 an hour.
But that's what I'm saying. You
wipe
could.
panels.
You could. You think these coal miners get paid $30 an hour? They don't get paid that. There's no way they get paid that.
But they're not gonna get paid the same. I feel like it's significantly less to wipe down solar panels. Unless they're doing something extra, like also checking up on the solar panels, making sure the wires aren't good or aren't bad.
Maintenance, or you're an inspector or something. It doesn't take them much to.
But that takes a little bit more extra training.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So you get these people out there and train them for free. You say, hey, we're taking these 19,000 people, which on the grand scheme of even America is not that much.
No,
right?
It's not.
And you take these people and you say, hey, we'll pay you for a year's worth of salary, but we'll train you for free, right? And then you're gonna stop this coal mining shit. We're shutting this shit down, and you're gonna, after that year of training and your full paycheck that you normally get, you're gonna start working at this power plant farm, and you are gonna clean and maintain solar panels.
Which that's a great idea. However, there are going to be some of those people that are like, oh, I already put so much time and effort into learning how to coal mine.
Yeah, but so what? They're not getting a pension.
No, they're not.
So why does it matter? Start over. Start with something new. That's my point.
That's the fear. Is like they don't want to start over.
Well,
it's change. People are they're based in their habits. There's a word for it. I can't fucking think of it, but they basically they don't like change. Most people don't like change. They go to a restaurant, they get the same shit over and over.
Change is good and change is healthy, and that's the thing about I feel like our generation is that we are more accepting of it.
Oh yeah.
We can adapt better to it, right? And you don't like. I can't imagine there's any fucking coal miner or anybody who does these horrible jobs that says, yes, this is what I want for my kid. Oh, I know I cough up blood once a month, but that's what I want my kid to do too. Like, nobody says that.
No.
Nobody wants that for their kids. So what you have to do is you have to fucking change. You have to change.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you don't change, like, you'll be stagnant. And you want to talk about stagnant, like, people hate that. People are like, oh, this, our economy's stagnant. Our views are stagnant. Our technology's stagnant. Like, we're getting beat out by China on, like, technology-wise. Like, Huawei, man. Huawei is apparently a really good phone. I'll never buy one.
I mean, I don't think I've ever stepped into a store and they've offered me a
Huawei. No, me neither. But somewhere you can get it, and a lot of people think it's better than anything that America's got.
The second largest.
Yes, I think
company?
Apple's still, or no, I think Samsung's number one.
Samsung's number one. Then it's Huawei, and then it's Apple.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like
worldwide, that is.
These people that are don't want to change, like, you're fucking not creating innovation.
Mm-hmm.
If Apple didn't change, if Samsung didn't change the way they did, there's no way they'd be number 1 or number 3.
You
no fucking way.
Definitely have to, especially like today in this generation, you have to be flexible with change, because there's something I heard where it was like, if you compare the 19th century, not the 19th, the 20th century and the 21st century, and how much change has happened in that time frame, and then you compare the 13th to the 14th,
way different.
It's way different. 13th, 14th, they're basically same shit. Same shit in those centuries. But 20th to 21st, what do we have? We have touchscreen phones.
You look in 20 years.
Phones,
20,
internet.
30 years, man. We've changed so fucking much.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine, like, what the first... Like, think about prior to the iPhone. Prior to 2009. Like, just the change between that 1 year.
Yeah.
Like, between a Razr flip phone or a Sidekick to an iPhone, to where you don't have a keypad, it's all on the fucking...
I remember when Razrs were the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in middle school, well, when I was in middle school, you were probably in high school, or even out of high school.
Something like that.
I don't know, you're old as shit. But I remember when I was in middle school, if you had a Razr, that was the top phone at the time. You were
everybody wanted a Razr.
Everybody wanted a Razr, and everybody wanted those. After that, it was like the Nanos. Or the Sidekick?
Sidekick, man. Everybody, all the cool people had the fucking Sidekick that flips out like that, and they're like, cool. All the cool kids had the fucking Sidekick, man.
Yeah.
But then the iPhone came out, and it was like, all these other phones are stupid.
Yeah. But if
everything
you go back to
stupid.
the first iPhone,
it looks like garbage now.
Oh, yeah, it's trash.
As a matter of fact, I think my wife has an iPhone 4 in the drawer right now. That bitch is small as hell, dude. Like, that thing is like... fits that in my palm. Like, the screen is so tiny.
Is that whenever they first went to like the more square and not as rounded?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I think we had an iPhone 3 in the house like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And that
it looks stupid compared to what it is now.
It looked like an iPod Touch.
Not even the
super thick.
Yeah, dude, those things are terrible. They were terrible. And that was only 2000. How was that? 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we've come so fucking far.
Mm-hmm.
We got facial recognition. We got thumbprint recognition.
What do you think of that phone that it failed? The Samsung phone that flipped out into a tablet and you could
where it's like a foldable screen.
Yeah,
that shit.
I think was fucking dumb.
I'm not a fan of Samsung. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm an Apple guy all the way. But I feel like Samsung tried to come out with something that they weren't ready for. Like, they thought that they could do it, and they wanted to be first to market, but it failed so bad. Like, no, I don't even know where you can buy one anymore.
I understand the premise, like, oh, you get a phone and a tablet at the same time, but to me, owning a tablet isn't that big of a deal.
I've got one, but
I would rather have
use it.
I would rather have a laptop than a tablet.
We got that too, though.
So oh, you're just fucking rich.
I mean, that's what everybody thinks.
You
apparently.
got a Tesla, you got a laptop and a tablet,
and a computer,
you just
and a new phone. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things. Like, I mean, look at. As much as I would love to have a whole podcast talking shit on anything non-Apple, I do want to bring up. Look at the what was it? The Note 6. Note 7?
It was a Note 7.
That was blowing up in people's pockets that you couldn't even take it on a plane because it was so fucking dangerous.
What's funny about that is they skipped the Note 6 because the number 6 is a notoriously bad luck number.
iPhone 6 was good.
Yeah, but Samsung, that's what that was their reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
Number 6, bad luck number, let's skip it, go straight to 7. But that doesn't change the fact that that's the 6th generation of that phone coming out.
It was so shitty, dude. I remember I was working at Oceana and they fucking had a sign up at the airport saying you cannot take your iPhone or your Note whatever.
Note 7.
Your Note whatever it was.
Those weren't
on
allowed
the plane.
on planes.
Yeah.
They were not.
That was such a PR fucking
nightmare.
Oh, it was a massacre for them. Like, how could you have a phone that just blows up?
But hey, it wasn't a deterrent for me. I got the Note 8, I
know.
love the Note 8.
I know. And I mean, it's the same for me too, man. Like, Apple could come out with a shitty fucking iPhone, but guess what? I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah. And honestly, even if they didn't have the Note 8 at the time that I upgraded my Note 5, I probably still would have bought the Note 7. I would have been like, oh, fuck, did you fix it? And you're like, well, yeah.
Sure.
It's still a
we fixed
possibility.
it.
Yeah, and I'd be like, all right, well, let's
sign this waiver though before you do.
I would have tried to use that as a negotiation point, which I know negotiating for phones isn't really.
No, it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
But I would have tried. Yeah. That's me. I'm thrifty, and I like the idea.
There's something to be said about people being thrifty, man.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people, but it's something to be said. It's good.
It's good to a point. Like my mom, she's thrifty as crap. Like, that's probably where I get my thrifty side from. Mm-hmm. But she's so thrifty that it starts cutting into quality almost. Like Wish, of Wish, the app, and the things that come off that the quality is not so great, but she loves that app.
Well, it's like eBay.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know what you're getting on eBay, dude. Never know.
You could get something great. You could get something bad.
You could market something.
If you're getting headphones for $3, the sound quality is going to be fucking terrible.
So you've never been to Dubai, right?
Oh no, I've never been to Dubai.
Sandbox, the Sandbox out there, man. They'll sell you a pair of Beats that normally cost $300. They'll sell it to you for like $80.
Is that?
They're knockoffs.
Are they actually?
They're knockoffs.
They're knockoffs.
But they look pretty damn close. But they don't work like you'd think they work. They don't work. Dude. I bought one, just to say I had one.
Wait, they don't work like I think they work?
No, they these pair of Beats that I had lasted I think 2 months. And then just it stopped hearing out of one ear. And it was fucking like real rough, and the plastic was fucking garbage.
So they work exactly how I think they
work. Right,
but
like
for $80,
a lot of people go out and buy shit that they're like, oh, I got a sweet deal. Mm-hmm. Like, it works for everything like that though, dude. Like, people go out and buy like a used car, and they're like, oh man, I got this fucking 3-year-old car for like $7,000. Like, what a steal. I'm like, yeah, you know what they probably did? They beat the piss out of that fucking car for 3 years.
It's like
that's a ticking time bomb.
So, like rental cars. Rental companies know that whenever you rent that car, you're not treating it like you should.
Fuck no.
No, it's not your car. You get a Mustang, you're going to rev the shit out of that thing. Mm-hmm. And then that's why they have to sell it for so much less than MSRP.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying, though, like, is that people think they're getting a good fucking deal, but they're not. They're getting
a fair deal at most.
Yes, you're getting a fair deal, like, hey, this might last you 2-3 years.
That's not to say that there aren't good deals out there, especially with cars.
You can get them sometimes, but it's rare. Yeah. It's not like you can just walk down the street or get on fucking Auto Trader or something and be like, I found a brand new Tesla for, $30,000 less than what it normally is.
In my opinion, if you're selling a car and it has like a football-sized dent in the passenger side
I'm not buying that car.
You wouldn't.
I'm not buying that car.
I would. If it's mechanically sound, it's fantastic. I pop that dent out. It looked great. I mean,
I don't know,
and you can get a good deal for a mechanically sound car like that because most people, like yourself, would not buy that car. Yeah. But you drive a Tesla, so nothing's going to compare to that.
Well, so even so it depends, right? So if I drove my F-150 for 6 years, man. Mm-hmm. 6 whole years. I never thought I'd make it to 6 years for that. But
was it a used car? Or
nope,
did you buy it?
It was brand new. Brand new when I bought it.
6 years?
Huh?
You didn't think it was going to last 6 years?
I didn't think I personally would keep it around for 6 years.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
That's not that it wouldn't last.
That makes sense.
Ford,
especially diesels.
Well, it's not a diesel. It wasn't a diesel.
Oh, okay. No. I don't know why I was thinking it was a diesel.
That's all right. But I wouldn't. Ford makes a wonderful vehicle. Like, I'm not saying anything bad about Ford.
There's half our viewers right there. They just turned it off.
That's fine.
Fuck this guy.
But it's one of those things like. I didn't think I was going to keep it as long as I did because I like to get new vehicles all the time. Like, I get bored with the vehicle that I currently have, and I want to get a new one.
Yeah.
Right? And then a lot of things like when it comes down to like why they always say, oh, how do you buy new cars? Like, you're just losing the value right off the lot. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm still gonna use it, and it's gonna be mine, and that's what I like is new shit, right? So I'm not gonna buy a vehicle that from you that I don't know how you drove that. I really don't. I don't know if you fucking drove it into a fucking lake.
Like the way I drive vehicles.
Right, but like that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know if you drove it into a lake, right? Dried it out, and you're like, okay, it fires up like twice a month. Okay, so you're only gonna show me that twice a month that vehicle works. Okay, cool. So now I get it, and now I bought a lemon from you. Well, there's no responsibility on your part. The vehicle, when I bought it, worked.
Yeah.
The vehicle did what I want when I wanted.
You're not getting a warranty.
You're not getting a warranty. You're not getting any guarantees that car is anything that you think it is.
Yeah.
Right? With a new
and
vehicle.
Even if you did get a guarantee, it's probably just verbal, and it's not. You're not going to get anything if that guarantee isn't true. With
a new vehicle, you are guaranteed that car is at least going to be replaced if it's faulty, right? And when it comes to my vehicles, like if I end up fucking it up, if I put a dent in it, if I get a scratch in it, if I crash it, I know I did it, not somebody else. Somebody else didn't fucking...
No, it's all on you.
It's all on
your
me.
fault.
So it's my... I don't want to take somebody else's problem.
Okay.
Like that's what I'm trying to get at, is that somebody else got rear-ended or sideswiped in their car, and they're gonna sell it to me for cheap. Yeah, but now I gotta look at that. I gotta drive that thing around with this huge dent or whatever in my fucking vehicle.
Fix that.
Yeah, so I gotta spend more. I gotta spend more money
off AdamandEve.com. Suction cup it. Pull
I don't know what that is, bro. So you know,
it's a big ass fucking dildo.
Oh well,
with
then
a suction cup.
That's what I was gonna guess, but my point is, right? It's like I don't want to take somebody else's problem. Like is what I'm getting at. Like you did that. All right, I'm not gonna take over for what you did. And yes, you said, oh, you could fix it. Yeah, but then I gotta spend more money to fix it.
It's probably good
when I could just
stepkids
buy a brand new one. I'm just gonna buy a brand new one, man. Like that's what I'm gonna fucking do, and it's gonna be perfect and pristine when I get it, and anything afterwards is my fault.
Yeah, I understand that. I just don't like the thought of spending or being in debt $20,000, spending $20,000 on once, or even being in debt to somebody else for $20,000. That's why I personally buy used vehicles.
And that's fine.
And I also enjoy the fact that if something does go wrong with it, hopefully it's not anything major. If it is, I fucked up because I didn't check that shit out.
Yeah.
At least not well enough. And if it's minor, I'm learning a skill. So if something happens to your new vehicle, I can just be like, oh, well, even if, like, something happens to your new vehicle and it just went out of warranty, I could be like, oh, well, this is how you fix it.
Right. Well, that's actually a good segue into this question I wanted to ask you. Like, so I got one of the guys I work with, right? He built his own deck in his house, right?
Yeah.
YouTube that shit. Okay. And so we were talking about it because I want to get like a new driveway installed. I want to get new windows. I want to get new doors. There's a lot of things I want to do in my house, right? And a lot of people will go and say, well, why don't you do it yourself? YouTube that shit. Like,
yeah.
So what do you think about like is it I wouldn't say destroying, but is it hurting businesses by having these YouTube videos out, like do-it-yourself things? Because, like, let's say 9 out of 10 people can do it yourself, right? Can build their own deck. But me, I'm the 10th guy. I'm the 1 out of 10 that I can't do it. So I want to pay for someone to do it. But now that company that would have had 10 people getting service from now only has 1. Well, they're a businessman. They got to fucking up their prices now.
I think
to fucking accommodate for the 10 people that didn't do it, and only 1 person that did.
I think yes, it is hurting them, but probably not as much as you think. It's because a lot of people, they overestimate their abilities. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, I can build my own deck, but they've never touched a block of wood in their life. So they go out and they build a deck. It looks like shit. Their wife sees that it looks like shit, nags at them, tells them to get a professional to do it.
Right.
So there's a reason that professionals are professionals. because
But there's a lot of people out there that can like live with it. You know, there's a lot of people out there that can. Oh yeah, my deck kind of like slants a little bit, but it's not that bad. I can live with that.
It also takes a lot of time and effort, which a lot of people are not willing to do.
Or don't have.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially after they get home after a long day of work, they're not going to want to work on that deck.
Yeah.
It's the same reason I have a partially disassembled chicken coop in my backyard. Because I don't want to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun whenever I've got a lot of pent up aggression to go out there with a sledgehammer and beat the shit out of it. Mm-hmm. But I'm normally a pretty calm guy, so I don't have a lot of pent up aggression all the time.
Yeah.
And I go out and I'm like, all right, well,
but
nobody sees my backyard except for my neighbor.
But that's what I'm saying. Even though, let's say again, maybe it's not just oh, I have to pay more because I'm the 10th guy that doesn't know how to do it. All right. Well, now let's say there's 0 out of 10. Right now, that business that solely relied on, hey, I can build you a deck, or I can, fix your roof, or I can redo the garage. Like I did this garage by myself. Well, not by myself. I had my buddy work on it with me, but I took away basically business from a local company that's their specializations. That's what their paychecks. That's how they pay their employees. That's how they feed their family. And I took that away from them, all because I watched some guy on YouTube fucking do it. Like it's not even like super professional, and it's definitely not complete yet. Like this is not complete. But if I paid somebody to do it, it would have been complete in a weekend.
Yeah, and it would probably look a lot better too. Mm-hmm. Which is most companies' selling part, or like they're
correct. It'd look a whole lot better.
So, and not only that, it would probably boost the price of your house up a lot more, the equity. Mm-hmm. So that's how a lot of people look at it. Or like, okay, but it's gonna look a lot better if somebody professional does it. And I know,
I would actually say that more people, less people than you think that way. Less people than you think the way I do. Where I'd rather have it, I'd pay extra to have it done right. A lot of people are like, no, I want to save my money. I want to do it myself. I can do that.
But how many people of those are married to other people who think the opposite way?
I mean, there's a lot of people out there that...
Because I'm one of those people who are like, I want to do it myself. And every time I say that, my wife is like, are you sure?
Sure you can do that?
Right. I see that chicken coop. It's
still out there.
It's been a month.
Yeah, it's still out there. I get it. I'm just... Because, okay, so... So, I know a guy that fucking... won't ever hire anybody. He won't. Mm-hmm. Like... Or he'll hire, like, my buddy that helped me build this, right? We know the same guy. And he helped me do this. And the same guy helped him resurface his roof. Like, re-roof his it. And I even helped. I got paid like $100 to do that shit. Yeah. Right? But that was some back-breaking ass labor. And we didn't know what we were doing. We was like 4 guys who've never done a roof before up on a roof doing it. Mm-hmm. Right? That shit took him like 2 months to do. Like, when you could have hired somebody and they had a team of guys to do it. And he saved about $2-3 grand on it. Which a lot of people are like, $2-3 grand, that's all fuck ton of money. Like, yeah, I'm going to do it. But again, how professional is that roof compared to somebody who did it, who does it every day?
Not to mention, it also probably has a warranty. They're like, oh, if this roof leaks,
fails,
then we'll come back and we'll redo it.
Yeah.
That's our stamp of guarantee. Yeah. And I think YouTube is beneficial in that situation because, again, there are a lot of people that want to do it themselves, and there are a lot of people within that group of people who would do it themselves regardless if there was YouTube, regardless if there was Instructables. They would want to do it, and they would just learn as they go, which would take longer, and the quality would probably suffer. Because my dad is like that. He watches some YouTube videos, but for the most part, he just goes at it and gets it done.
Yeah, but
he does quality work, but it's not professional grade.
It's definitely not professional, and that's my point. Is like, especially if it's something like with your house. Like if it's just something like, oh, I could pay someone to plant a garden, or I could plant my own garden. Okay, well, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is my driveway, right?
Oh yeah.
Like I want someone professionally to do that. I could buy the cement, do the hard labor and fucking do it all. But guess what? That cement's not going to look good. I know it's not. I know for a fact that it's not going to look that great.
It's probably not going to look as bad as you think, though.
It might not. I don't know. Yeah. I know like my capabilities, right? I know what I can and cannot do. Like, and these companies that are out there that is what they're there for. And like I said, you're taking away mom and pop fucking like money. Like money especially go to like if they're local, right? Like that's what they live on. That's what they employ,
the community. Right?
And so let's say you don't fucking that company that's local has 10 employees. Well, now everybody thinks they can make their own, driveway. Well, now I have to have 5 employees, so 5 people are jobless.
Yeah. And
all they know is how to build concrete. Fucking, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's just like weird to think that that there's so many businesses that rely on people's ability not knowing how to do shit.
Yeah.
Like.
But I think it really depends. It's just people who want professional grade quality are not going to do it themselves. That's my stance on it. Or like if I don't think it's going to take away as much business as you would think, because I'd say maybe 3 out of 10 people think they can do it by themselves and actually go through with it. And don't pay anybody to redo it. So that's still 70% of people going to the mom and pop shop. And even if they do have to let go of 5 employees, I mean, I have not seen a McDonald's that wasn't hiring whenever I went through.
Right, but guess what? Being a contractor pays a lot more than being a fucking McDonald's employee. Like, it does. And especially that contractor's got a fucking family of 4.
That's a good point.
It's not the same. Yeah. It's
I wasn't thinking of pay. I was just thinking
of jobs.
Jobs.
Like, and that's the thing too. Like, there's a lot of jobs out there that, like, don't pay as much. Mm-hmm. So you can sit there and say, "Oh, we've created 1 million jobs over the past year." Well, I'd say about 70% of those jobs are worthless. Like a high school kid would probably do that job. So creating that job is not a fulfilling. I mean, it's not going to get you to where you want to go. It's not.
It's probably not not enough to live off of.
Not in the slightest. And I'm fortunate enough to have a job. I'm fortunate enough to, make decent money. We'll go with decent money.
Decent money. And you're saying you have a full weight bench in the background.
I mean,
Tesla.
That's not. I bought that on Black Friday at Dick's, man. That shit was discounted as hell. But it's not the same. I don't live in a $400,000 house.
No, that's true.
I don't have matching his and her Teslas for me and my wife. I don't have these types of things. I live in a. Look at our garage. Look at the garage that we're in. Right.
I'll also see that's
I make decent money. I just know the things that I like, the things that are important to me. Right. Like my house is definitely important to me, but my house also does the job it's supposed to do. Yeah. Right. Like the house
protects me against
the weather, gives me a place to lay my head at night.
It's warm.
Yeah. Like it does what it's supposed to do.
Cold when you want it.
I don't need it to be some fucking 3,000 square foot mansion. Like I don't on the water. I don't need that. Like it'd be nice to have.
Oh fuck yeah.
It'd be really nice to have. And someday I'd like to have like a house that's like that. But for the time being, I'm fine with the house that I live in. And I can take the money that I save up or that I feel is necessary to use to improve the house.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to improve the house and you want to sell it someday down the road, which most people with their first house, they don't live in it for a life.
Yeah, it's not their forever house.
So that's that's when you would want to pay a professional person
to come out and fix this house so I can sell that shit.
so you can sell it and make more money off it.
Exactly, and that's a lot of the reasons why a lot of my shit, my to-do list, isn't complete yet. Because I need someone to do this professionally. Yeah. I need someone to come out here and make this house the way I want it. It's fucking super expensive, man.
So like, and the difference between you fixing up this garage and a professional could be like a $10,000 difference.
Could be, but I know it's not, but it could be. I mean, like even the fact that like this is just a garage. This is where I work out in, you know, and this is where we do.
That's not the main.
We do podcasts. It's not a place where I live every day.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not hoping I've got, you know, AC and heat in here so my family's comfortable. Yeah. This is just, and so this doesn't mean anything. In here. I do, but this doesn't mean anything to me like a hole in my roof, right? Where it's leaking into my house.
That's a skylight.
Yeah, right. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'll just put some tarp over it; it'll be fine.
Yeah.
No. I'm getting that shit fixed, professionally done, because it's where I live. Like this is just a side thing, which is it works. I mean, I'm proud of the work that I've done.
Oh yeah.
It's not the best, but I mean, I'm happy with that. It does what it's supposed to do. We're comfortable in here.
Yeah.
You know, it could be 90 degrees outside, and we're comfortable. Yeah. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's just. Yeah, I mean we're sitting on concrete. Like that's not the ideal situation.
Look at the rest of the MMA mats.
Yeah, right. Someday. Yeah.
What are those called? Are they just the matting?
Workout mats. I mean that's what I think they are at Dick's. I think that's what they call them. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things I was thinking about. It was a topic I brought up over at work. So just thought. I mean, but then we get a lot of topics at work, dude. A lot of topics. I don't know how I haven't been to the boat in a while, but over where I work, man, it's fucking.
I'll say on the boat in the shop, we got a lot less people, and our workload.
Well, we're also a lot more closer to age, like the same age.
So the topics don't flow as much because we have less people and a little bit more jobs. We're not just all sitting around in one shop anymore.
Yeah. Sometimes
we do, and then it's just us goofing off. But.
Yeah. I mean, I've noticed that though too. Like just like me, super vocal about everything, dude. Every kind of topic, I'm super vocal about. And the guys that I work with, two of them, I mean, they're older. I mean, they're like 40s, something like that, right? I actually don't know their exact age, but they're older. They got kids. I mean, one of them's got a kid who's already in college. You know, he's already out of the house. So their viewpoints on a lot of shit is way different than mine, which causes a lot of like debate between us, which is nice. I like to hear everybody's point of view. I don't like to just live in my bubble and have everybody agree with me.
Oh, yeah.
I'd prefer that people challenge my views. I don't want to be the one that everybody's a yes man to. That's not what I'm out to be. Like I'm definitely actually out to be more of a
think for yourself guy.
Oh, more of a let's push the topic. Like if you think that, you know, this I don't know, like I like to push the other side. Like not just being the devil's advocate just to be it, but like most of the time I am the other side. Like a lot of things, like a lot of people think like, oh, we're all addicted to our phones and stuff, right? We're addicted to technology. We're so dependent on technology that I don't think we could ever live without it. You know, and it's sad. It's sad to see our kids on their phones all the time. Like, well, listen, man, like you can have that opinion, but I honestly think differently. I think that a phone has just become an extension of ourselves, right? Like without, I mean, people have social media lives. People work. I mean, one of the guys I work with, his son's in high school, and a lot of his stuff, like he doesn't get phone calls, he doesn't get letters written to him about his son. It's all online. Like Their grades are online.
Oh,
their
okay.
meetings are online.
So
like
school-wise, you mean?
Yeah.
Like if,
So if you
if
didn't
he gets
have
in trouble, he gets an email.
Yeah, if you didn't have online, if you didn't have a computer and email and stuff, how are you going to know any of this shit? You're not.
You would still know, like, they would get a phone call, but
No,
then
they
again,
don't. That's what I'm saying. They don't.
No, I mean, like, back in the day.
Back
that's
in
how
the day
they
is
did
different.
It. They would still be able to pass along information. It just wouldn't be as efficient. So, like, they could send a letter home with the kid, but then again, that kid...
I'm going to fucking throw that away. Like,
oh, yeah.
I'm going to let my parents know I'm in trouble and I don't need to.
Exactly. And they could call the house, but, I mean, most people don't have house phones anymore. And even if they did that, the kid could just pick up and just be like, oh, he's not home right now.
Yeah.
And
I'll pass it along. Don't worry.
Meanwhile, you're in the kitchen cooking dinner.
Yeah. But that's my point is like the technology that we have nowadays is so entwined with everything that we do that it's not really a privilege anymore. It's more of a necessity. Like, yes, to have the newest iPhone every year is a privilege. I get that.
Oh, yeah.
But to have
that's expensive.
A Nokia fucking brick that's black and white, screen with T9 where you can't get internet off of ain't gonna fly for, I'd say, a good majority of this fucking world.
Yeah.
It's not.
I would say that's still a privilege comparatively. Compared to what your grandpa had.
But that's different. Like, that's what I'm trying to get at, right? So when a lot of people say like, oh, well, back in the day they survived without it, how could you not survive with it now? You're weak because you can't survive without it. It's like, well, all my fucking, let's say I get out of the Navy, I move back to Minnesota, or let's say I move to some random fucking inside, the country where there's no Navy.
Midwest.
Right? Anywhere. I mean, Minnesota's a bad idea because there actually is these things I'm about to say. But let's say there's no Navy feds.
Missouri.
Let's say there's no Navy fed in Missouri, right? None.
I think there's one in that.
Right? So what am I supposed to do now? Like, that's my bank. That's where all my money is.
Yeah.
You want me to just switch banks? Like, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could switch banks. But if I really enjoy this bank that I'm currently with, why would I get rid of it? And now there's no Navy feds there, so what if I got to get like a car loan? Oh, do it on your phone, do it online. Oh, no, you said I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to be independent of internet and technology. Well, that's what I'm saying. There's so many things that you can't do that you, back in the day, that you can do now. All right, I live 1,400 miles away from my family. Guess what? I can pick up my phone and FaceTime my mom if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Easily. Right? No fucking charges, no fucking problem, anytime. Right? 50 years ago, I had to write a fucking handwritten letter. Letter. Hopefully it gets there in 2 weeks if it didn't get lost in the mail. Right? And then wait for a response for another 2 weeks. Hopefully that didn't get lost in the mail. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
It's especially beneficial for us since we're sailors. If once we go on deployment, we have the internet. We have no cell service. The internet's all we have, and we have mail. But I mean, sometimes the mail ships, whenever they pull up, they drop the mail.
Fuck yeah, I've seen bundles of fucking packages get dropped in the Atlantic. Be like, well,
nobody
that's
goes
gone.
To save them.
No, fuck no.
No.
But that's what I'm saying, dude.
That's your Dear John letter. That's
the letter that could have saved your marriage, or that's the letter that, I don't know what. That's the letter that could have told you that your son was born. Yeah, your son's born, or your dad's sick. Like, who fucking knows? My point is that all that shit back in the day is old fucking technology. We don't need that. We don't need to keep going back in time. Back then we had this. Back then we had this. Let's think about now. What are we going to have? That's what we should think about. Fuck this old-timey bullshit, dude. I need to go forward. Fuck all that back in the day. Fuck rotary phones, all that bullshit. I want to know what's the newest thing. I want to know what's the most advanced, what's the best for people, right? And you can say it's a crutch. You can say it's a dependent thing. I don't care. Like, I want it, and I feel like it's improving my life. And it improves everybody's life.
It makes things way more efficient. It makes things way better, like way easier. I won't say better because sometimes
it can. I mean, there's ups and downs to technology.
Sometimes old-fashioned stuff is way better. Like
what?
you go to a local woodworker and he's doing things the old-fashioned way versus going to IKEA. The local woodworker is going to have better furniture.
Better quality. But guess
furniture.
what? I can get something at IKEA that day. That woodworker I got to put in an order for.
That's true.
Might take 2 weeks to get it, right? And
but
yes,
the quality is what I'm talking about. The quality is better.
quality. But if I need something now, like I need something now. I can't wait for it.
And you can make that shit work. I mean, my wife and I, we bought like TV trays.
Yeah.
And we use those as end tables now. We bought them temporarily as end tables.
And they work.
A year and a half ago, and we have not stopped using them.
Fuck it, man. You do what works. I'm a big proponent in like doing what works for you. So I'm here saying fuck all that old timey shit. But man, if you want to live in a fucking cabin in the woods and write letters to your kids and
my brother's
live off the land, go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. But I feel like you're trying to be back in a time that doesn't exist anymore. We don't do that kind of shit.
Yeah. My brother is he's talking about doing that. He wants to move to Wyoming, buy some land, he says he has something different besides solar panels for energy, but he hasn't. He said he was going to send me details about it. I'm curious to learn.
I'm very curious to learn about that.
Yeah. But he wants to live off the land and only be found if he wants to be found. He wants to be off the grid, which I think is near impossible these days. It is near impossible. But I support him. I'm like, hey, go ahead. I want to learn about this shit.
I would like to see what that looks like.
Yeah, I want to know if you're using like a hydro generator, or wind energy.
And that's cool. And I mean, listen, I'm not going to tell you that your brother's not smart in doing it or that he shouldn't do something like that. Yeah. But
the way he's going to learn about this is from the internet.
Quick scenario, just super quick off the top of my head scenario. What if he's out there chopping wood for his fire and fucking misses and hits his leg? He's bleeding out. Who are you going to call, man? You don't have a phone. You don't have a fucking phone. You got no way to get to the hospital. That might be where you die out there because you had a stupid mistake and you wanted to live without the modern technology that we have that could have saved your life.
I think he's going to have a phone of some sort, which is why I say it's near impossible to live without being found. Because the government can still find you based on your phone calls.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to have like a pay-as-you-go phone just in case. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm still waiting on the details. He said he was going to text me last night, but he hasn't.
Cool, man. Cool. I can run through a whole bunch of scenarios that you need technology.
It would be difficult. Yeah.
Like my grandma, a year ago, maybe a little less, fell and broke her femur, like in her house in Wisconsin, in the woods. Like, luckily, she had my cousin living with her and her boyfriend was there at the time and could call the police and get somebody over to help her. Yeah. Man, if she didn't have anything, if no one lived with her, she didn't have any form of communication,
so
she could be sitting there to this day, for all I know.
I have a similar, my grandma, she fell and she broke her hip, and she had to crawl inside to the phone in order to get somebody, because she lives alone, and actually, hell, she lives even more secluded now because she moved away into a one-bedroom, tiny house, living, cabin in the woods type scenario, because that's what she wanted to do. I think that's where my brother got the idea. But I don't know. I hope she has like a life alert or
something,
a landline.
But that's technology.
Because I know
man.
she's not living like off the grid like he is.
Yeah.
She just wants a small, simple cabin in the woods feel. But yeah, she's if she wouldn't have been able to make it inside, like if it was her femur bone, because I know that's excruciating. That's supposed to be like the top
heart,
pain.
Yeah.
Like even
it's the worst bone to break in your entire body.
But there's some people say it's worse than childbirth.
Yeah.
I have no idea. No.
I don't know either.
But still, man, I don't think she would have made it if
You didn't have some sort of technology.
It was in the winter, and all she had on was a bathrobe. She slipped on some ice.
Yeah. That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about, man. Like, you can say whatever you want. You can be as negative you want about technology, right? But it saves lives, man.
Absolutely.
It fucking saves lives.
Yeah.
It makes lives better.
I mean, how many people died of infection in the 1900s?
Let's just get rid of penicillin. Let's get rid of doctors. Let's everybody treat their own selves. That'll work out.
Yeah.
No, it won't. All right. Yeah. It just that's another thing that irks me about like people who think
technology is ruining.
Yeah, it's not. Like, there's outliers to every situation. Like, there's people that never leave their home, gain 300 pounds, and
in that case, it is damaging. But that is not the majority. That's not even the whole nation.
That's not even like
I think
close to a percentage that you would think. Like,
I think at most it'd be like 0.7%.
It's so rare to see, because like even me, like I would love to sit there and play video games for 24 hours straight, right? And I could, and I've come close to it. You know, I've had a 20-hour marathon of video games before, man. I had. But again, I still get out. I socialize. I work out. I go to work. I do things. So, technology is not damaging me. Technology is just a different way to enjoy life.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's a different way to connect to people.
Technology wouldn't allow this to happen.
Period.
This would not be happening without technology.
I mean,
it wouldn't. Period.
I mean,
like without internet.
Hopefully, we're benefiting somebody's way of thinking.
Yeah.
But honestly, this wouldn't have been a priority in developing technology. I don't think.
Well, this is pretty new.
Would.
Podcasting's pretty fucking new. I mean, I think I read somewhere where, like, there's only like 440 million podcasters, but like 6 billion, or not 6 billion, that's a lot. Or like 440,000 podcasters, but like 6 million like bloggers. Like, people who just write little articles and that's it.
And this is fucking easier. This is way easier.
It's way easier, dude. I'm not fucking writing no goddamn paper, so I didn't go to school. I ain't doing that shit.
And it's easier for viewers or like your audience.
Yes.
Reading takes your eyes. You can do this while you're doing the dishes. You can listen to this. Mm-hmm. Listen to people's opinions.
Yeah. But it's, I don't know, it's technology. It's I enjoy it. I appreciate it.
Oh, and especially when it comes to medicine.
Well, yeah, I mean.
And entertainment. Entertainment is what we.
I think entertainment is most. Like medicine's super important. It's probably one of the most important things out there. But entertainment, people care more about. I think. Mm-hmm. Like unless it's happening to you, you know, like.
They don't. You don't care.
Yeah, like.
I mean, every time there's an ambulance down the road, my wife looks out the window. She's like, "Oh, one of our neighbors is hurt." I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah, whatever.
Hopefully they're okay.
Yeah.
I mean.
And that's whatever. With the fact that like. It's not. You're not a bad person for not like super caring all the time about that. It's just. I don't know. I don't.
That would be no way to live if you were heartbroken. If every
tragedy,
every time you saw an ambulance go by, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's you can't live like that.
I hope it's just a broken leg.
I hope it's nothing. I hope it's just a false alarm.
Yeah.
You can't live like that. That's too much.
But there are some people like that.
Yeah.
There are, and it's, I don't know, man.
I don't know either, dude. Like they, I don't know.
It's too much for me.
Yeah. Fuck.
This is good rum.
Yeah, man.
I like this.
That's just Captain Morgan, bro. That's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing crazy.
I like rum and Coke a lot better than I do Jack and Coke.
Like I said, man,
I think I'm just realizing
it's sweeter,
today.
bro. It's
Yeah.
sweeter. It's easier to drink. You know, it's less of a taste. I
It's not
guess.
as-
Yo,
it's
but
not as
I
much
am.
of a burn.
I am excited too about like hopefully whenever we get guests on here, we try something new.
Oh yeah, like having them bring new stuff that we've
Yeah.
never heard of.
I'm telling you,
yeah.
man, I got that Basil Hayden's in there. Pretty excited about. Was drinking some. Fuck, I already Woodford Reserves, and that's pretty good shit too. I think my buddy still has my Kentucky Derby Woodford Reserve that I got from my
Is that like a special edition? Or
I mean, probably.
is it?
It's probably the only special edition about it is that it's from that Derby. Like,
Oh, okay. So it's not like
it's not like made differently or anything
Yeah.
like that. It's still the
not
same thing. It's just
stored
got
in-
like a cool, like
It's not stored in like mahogany barrels or.
I mean,
any
I don't
shit
know
like
how
that.
they make it. Trust me, I really don't. But it's probably not any different than the way they normally make it. It's just
Mhm.
like a cool like wrapping on it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I left that at his fucking house because I had my bachelor party at the Derby.
Is he a big drinker?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, it's probably gone, man.
I hope it's not. I fucking hope it's not.
Unless he's a really good friend, it's probably gone.
He's a really good friend. Probably one of my best friends.
Yeah.
But he, yeah, I think it's still there, dude. I think he just sent me a, yeah. I think it's still there. I don't
Yeah.
know. I gotta go down to Kentucky again. Probably go next year for the Derby. Which, by the way, is a fun fucking time.
Yeah.
Fuck
I was
yeah,
gonna
dude.
Say is that
So
I have.
it's fun depending on like how you go about it, right? Like so we went right for it was me, my brother, our friend, and then my buddy Tyler who lives down there and is from there.
Mhm.
And we went down there for my bachelor party, and like we just did the peasant thing, right? Paid $50 to get in, and you just walk around. You don't have a booth. You don't have any like certain seat. You're just walking around, enjoying it.
It's
and
just
I've-
a giant rodeo, right?
Not a rodeo, a horse race.
Horse race?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So there's no bull riding or anything.
Nope, horse racing, man.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
It's the biggest fucking. It's the biggest, or I don't know if it's the biggest, but it's the most important horse race in the country. It's the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, I know. I've heard of the Kentucky Derby.
It's a
and
good.
I know it's something to do with like cowboy and.
It's just horse racing.
Yeah.
It's a good time, man. It's really fun. I hopefully I'm gonna go this year. I missed last year, or well, next year. I missed this year, which is kind of good because it was raining the whole time. Even on my bachelor party, it was raining. So that's 2 years in a row that it's rained.
You went on your bachelor party to the
Mhm.
Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
That's unique.
Yeah.
I've seen not a whole lot of people go to the Kentucky
No,
Derby.
but it was fucking fun, bro.
Yeah.
Got to get dressed up. Fucking
I didn't know you were a rootin' tootin'.
no.
Cowboy kind
by
of a
any
guy.
and by any means is this a cowboy situation.
No, it's not.
This
that
is
type
actually
of
probably
event.
more of a rich people situation.
Yeah.
Like, cause you go in some of these, like we paid $50 to get in general admission, right?
Okay.
Some of those like booths and shit, it's like hundreds of dollars a ticket
Yeah.
just to sit in a booth.
Well, I know it. You have to be like some type of well off to even own horses nowadays.
Fuck yeah, those people are
Unless you
fucking
have-
rich as hell.
Unless you inherited like buku amounts of land, like
Mm-mm.
25 acres worth of land,
No,
where
'cause
they can just graze.
the problem is you got to get the right horse, dude. Like you can't just run any horse in there. Like that horse has to be tested, and they probably run a whole bunch of races all year long, and your horse has
Yeah.
to be good. So you'd have to be super fucking lucky to have gotten a horse that was just some modern miracle of fitness and ability. You can't just take like a horse that you find out here in Suffolk and just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna run this horse in the Derby.
It
It,
has to be
probably
like
wouldn't fucking
Some
make
sort
it.
of Usain Bolt.
Yes,
horse.
it has to be like it has to be a very specifically bred horse and trained,
Okay.
and like it's a lot of money. You can't just like all of a sudden find a horse and be like, yep, this is it. Like these horses are like bred throughout, like, and so then
I
that
mean-
horse that won the Kentucky Derby is probably going to be, studded out to a whole bunch of different females for like $20,000 or $250,000 a pop.
That's weird.
and they're gonna be like, oh, I hope that I can get a horse that wins the Derby just like its dad did. You know, but that's a couple year investment because horses aren't just automatically
that's
old enough.
Funny to me that we are okay, fantastic. Like it's a-okay to prostitute out your pet, but prostitution for us is a no-no.
Well,
at least in this country.
In this country, so the thing about, I wouldn't even call it prostitute. Like, you pimp out your horse, I guess.
Yeah. That's.
But then again, a lot of people would say, well, they're animals, not like us. We're evolved over animals.
True.
I mean, technically we're animals, but we hold domain over them, so we can make them do whatever we want, kind of things, right?
Yeah.
So for us, prostitution, which by the way should definitely be legal around anywhere in this country, because I mean, it's one of those things.
As long as it's not being forced upon.
Well, that's not. Then that's not legal. I mean, that's rape. Then
I guess.
Like my point is like, if there's women out there who want to decide that they want to be prostitutes, right?
Female escort. I believe that's the
well.
term
So we call them escorts now because we're not. But those escorts are technically not allowed to have sex for money. That would be prostitution, which then is illegal.
Okay.
So, if you were just to say, hey, let prostitution be legal, right? Because these women are consenting adults. I'm not talking about any like young kids or anything like that. Like consenting adults, and they know they get paid a certain amount. It's a job. I mean, are you any different?
Yeah.
Like, is it any different being a stripper than it is being a prostitute, besides having sex and one's not? Like, that's the only other difference is, like, you're providing a service. And a lot of people are like, well, it's degrading to women. You know, it's not degrading. As a matter of fact, like, you would hold all the power. You're the one who sets the price point for me to pay for it. You're the one who tells me what can I can't do.
Yeah, I was going to say, the guidelines as well.
Yeah.
You're the boss throughout all of it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And especially if you're in an enterprise, like, let's say, I don't know, there's an Uber for prostitution. Right? You can be like, hey, I need a prostitute. Come here, and you pay your money, for whatever the service is. They do the service and then they leave. I mean, what's the difference? Like, as a matter of fact, it'd probably help female empowerment, because then they can say, hey, listen, instead of me just being used like a piece of meat, like, I'm actually using you to get money. Like, you're paying me to do something that you can't have, right? That's basically what it is. I mean, I personally think prostitution would be fine and should be legal because, like all the reasons I just said. Like, you...
Yeah, and that's not to say that you would partake in it.
I'm not saying that at all.
No.
I'm just saying that if there's women out there that's what they want to do with their life, they should be able to do it.
Yeah.
Within a controlled, safe environment. That's all I'm saying. Like,
But that's another thing. Like, how would you control? How would you?
Just like, how would you control an escort?
A whorehouse.
How would you control an escort? Right. So an escort are legal, right? Male or female, and this is also males too. Males can be prostitutes.
Absolutely.
Right. So, how would you control an escort, which is legal now? Right. You basically pay someone to accompany you to a place, and then when that night's over or whatever, they leave.
Yeah.
Same thing. So, what's to say that guy's like, oh, I'm going to get an escort, and then I'm going to fucking, rape her or something like that? What's the difference between, oh, I'm going to get a prostitute, and then I'm going to tell them I only want this, but I'm going to do way more? Well, there's no difference. Like, you're still relying on the fact that this person that you are servicing is going to get exactly what they paid for.
Yeah.
That's it.
But then also, you gotta take an account. Like North Carolina, I think this is the only state that has this law. But if you consent to sex, it's not revocable.
Well, that's wrong. That's super backwards thinking.
It's backwards.
That's
their senator,
preposterous.
One of their senators has been trying to change it for a while now.
Why it hasn't been? Why are they trying so hard?
Why are they trying to change it?
No, it's so hard. Like, this should be an easy topic.
This should be an easy, but every time they send the bill up, it gets, like, kind of pushed to the side and forgotten about.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Even if the sex turns violent.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, man.
They can't take it back, and they can't.
That's
charges,
disgusting.
Which is
that's a disgusting law to have.
I was baffled whenever I read this. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're taught like it can be revoked at any point in time, even after sex. Which, by the way, was what I thought about it whenever I read the headline. I was like, oh, this has to be a mistake. It was like, this has to be like, if she consented all the way through the act, and then 3 weeks later she decides, oh, I didn't want to do that, she can't press charges. That's what I thought. And I was like, okay, I can see where they're trying to go with this, but no, it's 2 minutes after sex has started. And
listen,
I mean, if you last that long, that's
anytime before and during, I'm okay with it being like revocable, right? Like you can stop it anytime he or she did something you don't like, or you weren't up for, you can stop. 100%. Now what you said 3 weeks later decide, oh shit, that's an embarrassing moment in my life. Well, I'm gonna just charge rape on this guy. Yeah. That's not fucking okay.
I don't think that's how
not okay.
I don't think that's how most rapes
No,
happen.
I'm not saying that is, but to say that that's okay to do is wrong. No. Like you cannot just all of a sudden think back on it and be like, oh yeah, I think that it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, or maybe it wasn't like. You can't just claim rape like that. Yeah. You can't do that. That happens a lot of times where people don't think about that shit. Like it happens a lot of times that a woman or man will do something and then they'll regret it later on, and then they'll be like, "Oh, well, it clearly must have been rape." No, it's not.
There are circumstances in which that would clearly be rape, because Virginia state law is if you have 2 drinks in one night, you are no longer able to consent.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm fair with it.
If you don't know that, you've had more than 2 drinks. I mean, you're pretty drunk, which I don't know who gets
drunk off 2 drinks.
2 drinks.
I don't know. But that's not for us to say.
2 weeks down the line, you find out that state law, then you're like, oh fuck, that was clearly rape.
No, incorrect.
No?
I don't think that's good enough. I really don't, because like if you and a woman,
even if it was enjoyable for you, that would within
you can't. But you didn't think at the time.
No.
You didn't think at the time or anywhere up until you found out that if you have more than 2 drinks, it's not consensual. Up until that exact moment when you found out, you had no inkling in your mind that, oh, this must be rape, or this could be rape. Well, you had no idea until all of a sudden someone said, hey, by the way, you had 3 drinks that night,
morally,
so he raped you technically. Like, what?
I think morally, I don't know if this is the right word to say it, but morally it's not rape. Legally it is. That's what I'm trying to say.
But okay, so what's to say that he can't do that to you?
He can.
But that's what I'm saying. So you can't both claim rape just because you both had fucking 3 drinks instead of 2.
You can, and I think at that point it comes down to who claimed it first.
That's usually how it goes.
Fucked up.
That's usually how it goes.
In my opinion.
But that's all I'm trying to get at, right? Is that you can't. I do not think that just because you're embarrassed or you thought it was something that, like, later on down the road that you'd be like, oh, I don't want my dad finding out that, here's a good one. Let's say that you're a closeted homosexual, right? Okay. Parents don't know, nobody knows, right? But you had a sexual encounter with another man, okay? And it was consenting and everything like that, and all of a sudden somebody finds out, and they're like, oh, dude, I heard you had fucking sex with a guy. And you're like, no, he raped me. That's what it was. He raped me. That's bullshit. That is fucking bullshit. But that's what happens with women a lot, and men a lot. Let me clear that up. They go and they think it's totally fine until someone they don't want to know knows, and they're like, oh no, it must have been rape. That's what happened. It was rape. You can't claim that because that's not a fucking. That's not okay. You're ruining somebody's life because you thought you're embarrassed about what somebody might think of you. Yeah. You can't do that.
You can't do that.
But that's what a lot of people get away with.
In the case where a closeted homosexual has sex with a man and claims it's rape, I feel like that's more emasculating.
Right. So
because most people don't want to be a homosexual because they think, oh, I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm supposed to like women.
Right.
Which is.
And so if your dad or your friend or something like that is saying, "Oh, dude, like that's pretty fucking lame that you had sex with a guy. Like I can't respect you anymore about that."
Fucked up.
That is fucked. That's fucked up on that person's fault. And you know what's even more fucked up is I wouldn't say more, but equally fucked up is the guy who says, "Oh yeah, you're right. I'm gonna agree with your backwards ass bigoted ways, and you're right. Yeah. I'm gonna claim that guy raped me instead of going through with the fact that hey, maybe I'm gay." Mm-hmm. Like that's fucked up, dude. That's not okay. Mm-hmm. And that's where I get to the point where it's like these people out here are claiming rape, right? Or sexual assault or whatever you want to call it because they're embarrassed about what happened. Yeah. Don't be embarrassed about what happened. Right? If you were consenting with it, like then you're fine. Nothing is wrong and don't ruin that person's life because you didn't want somebody to find out.
And that's bullshit. We should state one more time, just in case anybody's zoned out whenever we said this before, that's not all cases. We don't believe this is all cases.
No, definitely not.
All cases of rape is like this.
I fully believe there's...
I believe that a small percentage of rape is like this. Maybe like 10 to 20%, maybe.
I couldn't put a percentage on it, maybe. But I would say that there is...
That would be my guess. As an uninformed
I would just say that there's...
person.
There's things out there that people do to each other that are unforgivable. Like and that's including the people that rape people, and that's including the people that claim that they got raped when they didn't get raped.
And
it's the things that people do to each other are unforgivable and unredeemable as a human being. Like, just sucks, man. It just really sucks. And we as a society need to get better about it. I don't know what to do about it, but we do need to get better about it.
All right. Well, first of all, first things first, repeal that law.
Yeah, the North Carolina law sounds like bullshit, dude.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that sounds like some fucking nonsense. Some 1920s bullshit about like barefoot and pregnant women.
It was actually
it was used for tools.
It was 1979 or 1989 Supreme Court law case that made that.
That's even worse. That's not even that long ago.
It's not.
That's.
But it was during a time where sexism and racism were very prevalent.
Oh yeah.
And
very much so.
Homophobic
tendency. Well. I mean, there's still homophobic people out here.
Homophobism.
There's still homophobics out here like that are. It disgusts me. Mm-hmm. It really does. Like, they're not hurting you. There's nothing wrong with those people, but you just feel like they need to be targeted for.
No.
I don't know. Those people are horrible. Those people are horrible people out there like that. Yeah. But yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's the lowest world we live in, I guess.
Mm-hmm. All right. You want to end it here?
Yeah, it's kind of sucky to end on a down point, but...
Yeah, I mean...
Hey, man. It is what it is. I don't know. I just hope we get better, like...
Yeah.
As a society.
Try to be a good
person. If you take nothing from this, try to be a fucking better person than you were yesterday.
Try to afford a Tesla.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, Tesla's important, but I wouldn't say everybody needs to own one right now. But yeah, man, just I think that's it. All right, guys, we'll see you later.
See ya.